It's time for the Librarians After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. We are talking Season 4, Episode 8, and The Hidden Sanctuary. We have so much fairies to talk about, fairies. Stick around for fairies.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the Librarians After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Ah, those giggles.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the Librarians After Show. We're talking Season 4, Episode 8, and The Hidden Sanctuary, directed by Mr. Noah Wiley. If you haven't already, go to youtube.com and search for AfterBuzz TV's sci-fi, fantasy, and superhero channel. While you're there, hit subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode. I'm Yel Teagle. I am loving this music. What is this that we're listening to?
This would be Who I Am by Natasha Bedingfield of Tinkerbell, the Pirate Fairy Song.
Oh my god.
Oh yes, Tinkerbell, the Pirate Fairy Song. And of course I'm joined by Alexis Torres.
Hey everyone. I will be cringing at ATORRES890. That's ATORRES8900.
I wanted a fairy song.
No, you got it. You got the fairy song.
It sounds very fairy-like.
Oh yeah, the
With
little
the giggles?
and the.
I will leave it to our fans to tell us what would have been a better fairy song.
That's true.
But we can stop playing this garbage now.
Thank you. Anyway, continue.
I liked it, and now it's irritating. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited that we are back. We only have one episode to talk about.
It's weird. I was like, all right, bring on the next. Oh, there isn't one. Oh my gosh. Okay, we were doing 2 or 3 at the same time. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm all right now.
I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So we're now talking about And the Hidden Sanctuary, which was the Cassandra standalone episode. We've had Ezekiel's.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that the luck episode, the Fortuna episode, was Stone's?
No, I feel like he should have a bit more involved. So, because technically, Cassandra technically was by herself the entire time.
She was super solo.
Yeah, and then Ezekiel technically wasn't by himself, but he had to deal with.
And then he broke off with his mom.
Yeah, so like he had a solo adventure kind of. Mm-hmm. So.
And then Baird also had her adventure with Nicole.
Yeah. So.
And I ship it.
Oh yeah, a hardcore. And so yeah, I think Stone needs one. I don't think that was like a little itty bitty mini episode for him, but I need a full length one.
You know, big old Stone episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this episode takes us 27 years ago. Mm-hmm. And this kid, so it starts off very Stranger Things.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, cool. Everyone's doing Stranger Things. No, that was it.
Just that one, that nice little shot that we got of them riding through a puddle. That was it.
Yeah.
And then him leaving him behind.
His bike was broken because it hit a piece of wood.
A piece of wood or a tree or a stone. That was it.
Oh, that's not how bikes work.
That's exactly how I felt. I was like, I don't think that's how bikes work. I think you should just pick it up and ride it.
I think you could probably ride that. Did the chain fall off? Do you have to put that chain back?
I don't understand. Also, you guys were on a road earlier. How big is this forest? Where are you right now?
But also, was it that the handlebars were turned? Because mine used to do that, and you hold the wheel, and then you turn it back.
Yeah.
I used to
The
do
fact
that all
that
the
I
time.
don't know how to ride a bike, but I know that is ridiculous.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I don't know how to ride a bike.
No, it's concerning that you know that. But were you stealing bikes and just turning?
Maybe? No, I'm just kidding. No. My friends all rode bikes. I was that loser who had a scooter, with my little razor scooter, and I was like, "Wait up, guys! I don't have pedals. My pedals are my feet."
I love it. I want to ask, how long did it take you to figure out that the kid was the councilman?
As soon as she met him, I was like, he looks like the kid from the beginning.
So, okay, so it took me at some point to go, oh, he's the kid. And it took somebody else that I was watching to do the math of 10,000 days that it's been 27 years.
Let me guess, is Atari?
Yeah.
Yep.
Apparently he missed the beginning where it said 27 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I then went, oh, it's the kid.
Yeah. As soon as the fact that he was like mayor and kind of like running things, I was like, yeah, you seem like the child who found the fairy. That makes sense. But I was like, no, maybe it's just me. I will wait till later. And then clearly I was correct.
Yeah,
so.
yes, you're smarter than everybody.
Yay.
So here's how I wrote the story. Kid finds fairy. kid imprisons fairy.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
Like, that's what happened.
Yeah.
He was like, here's my wish. I want you to make sure everyone here is happy forever, except for you.
Yeah, you have to serve me for 27 years or
And
forever.
live in a snow globe.
Yeah.
Are snow globes made of iron? I was very confused about that.
No. At least not the one that he had, for sure, because there are metal ones, but
Right.
that one is not metal. It is made of plastic. So I don't know where that iron came from, unless there's like a magnet underneath it or something.
Or are the flakes of
They could
snow?
be, maybe. But I just didn't understand why she got trapped in the snow globe. But she was also saving people at the same time?
Yeah.
How is that possible? I'm just curious. Can she move around in the day, but she has to go back at night?
I
don't
know.
get it.
I have a lot more questions about her.
No,
and
Wiley, tell us.
we'll get to the fairy questions.
Yeah.
Like what kind of fairy? Because we listed that there were
Yeah,
many
and we had
different
no
types.
idea what type of fairy this was. Also, librarians, writers, and budget. What's happening with our fairy CG?
What are you talking about? It was very detailed.
The body was very detailed. The face was in weird spots. It couldn't stay in the middle. I was like, what's going on with your motion capture? That's where I was concerned. Everything else was fine.
You're like, wow, what a detailed Skeletor body. I'm very confused about what kind of fairy this is.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it. But like I said, her face would like move up to her forehead and then back down to her chin, and then like it felt like I mean maybe I left it up to like she's magic. Maybe she's like Rorschach, where her face just kind of moves. It's cool. But at first I was like, what's happening, you guys?
So his wish was that no one got hurt anymore, and it made me realize that any child born in the last 27 years in this town has never felt pain.
Yeah, can you imagine what's gonna happen now?
And then when she said, like, at the end, she was like, I fixed everything. I fixed all your mistakes. And I was like, did everyone get A's? Was it all mistakes? Was it no one ever got heartbroken, like emotional things?
They didn't go into detail of what pain meant, because in my head I thought she just took away like all types of emotion. So that's why I felt like everyone was kind of robotic in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Why it was all step for Y?
yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Was like, oh, they're all like robots at this point. That's what's happening because that's why the guy didn't stop
Right.
when she was in the road. Like I thought that was really freaking weird. So
I thought that he didn't stop because he was like, she's gonna be fine. Like, don't worry about it. I don't need to stop. You'll move.
Yeah, I guess. I just thought it was just weird. It was just like, you're not like a, hey, get out of the way. It's just like, I'm just gonna run you over. Like, all right. But yeah, I was assuming that it was literally all emotion because besides our mom character, who I can't remember her name.
The mom character was Carla.
Carla.
Let's talk about our guest star, Sherry Saum. I don't know how to say her last name. S-A-U-M.
Yeah.
Who you may recognize from The Fosters, or
Yep.
if you're me, you're going to recognize her from season 15, episode 17 of Law & Order Special Victims Unit, Gambler's Fallacy, which is the first episode where you meet Donald Logue's character. I love this episode. It's one of my favorites.
Yep, I was waiting for
Thank
it. I was
you.
like, Steve, yeah, Steve, yeah, okay.
Anyway, so she's from The Fosters.
Okay.
She's the mom for The Fosters.
No, I know. That's
And that episode of SVU.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So Carla, who was clearly coming from an abusive
Yeah,
household.
that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, no mom is like this unless there's something absolutely terrible that happened to you.
It felt very much like, we're not going to say the words domestic violence, but we're going to say everything else.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I used to be afraid of my husband. Why? You know.
The usual stuff. Just he's bigger than me. He's a man.
He gets angry.
He gets really angry when he's just himself.
Yeah. And then the kid also was like, I get it. This kid, Freddie, Detective Freddie.
I want to see more of him.
Well, when Cassandra leaves, she says, I have a feeling we'll be seeing you in a couple of years. Keep an eye out for a letter from us. Which I know is probably just a cute little line, but I want him to come back and I want him to join the library.
But the thing is, when she said a couple years, I was like, what's the age
I'm
requirement?
sure 18 is the
That
minimum.
boy is not close to 18. That is a load of horse donkey. Like,
12.
that can't be right.
Maybe she's in a few years. I don't know. It's 12.
She said 2.
12 years. He's 12 years old. So, 6 more years.
Oh, my Lord.
I expect next year he runs into new magic that ages him up and he moves in. Ooh, and he turns into like Taye Diggs or something.
Sure, I'll take it. That sounds fine. But yeah, I want to see more of Freddie. I loved how he didn't really care about Cassandra's like love for imagination. He was like, no, I need the hard facts. That's cool that you like that, but I have other needs that need to be met. As in, like, I need to know what's happening, not this mumbo jumbo stuff.
He was absolutely fantastic, that kid, Detective Freddie.
I loved his little like hidden room of like strings going back and forth. I was like, whoa, child.
Well, because he comes up to her with the tape recorder and he's got his camera out. Oh, he's gonna be a great journalist, that boy.
I'm so excited for his future, his fictional future. It's gonna be great.
Another beloved character. I also love the scene where we basically have a PSA for libraries.
Yes, quite.
You should read. Reading is magic. You can go on all sorts of adventures.
I even love that she even threw an adult one in there. I was like, that's more for me, not for you.
I was like, this should be cut out and just
throw it in a PCA for like PBS.
Yeah, absolutely. Reading is magic.
Yeah, you can go anywhere you want to.
It made me feel bad that I don't read enough, which this show already has done for 4 seasons.
But I feel like there's a lot of this generation doesn't really read as much as they should. Well, no, you can do whatever you want, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Books specifically.
Yeah,
physical books.
Yeah, physical, like going to a library or
they do still exist.
Yes, I mean, because you have to do schoolwork still. That is a thing. Until they completely take it out and everything is digital. Sure. But yeah, and there are Barnes and Nobles sprinkled around here, and the U.S. So
sure.
Yeah.
Bookstore.
Store what are those?
Books.
I don't know.
All right, let's talk about our fairy because Cassandra says, I met a fairy once. I met one once. And I was like, yes, you did. And she's great. And she is also somewhere in the world.
Yeah, I want to know where she is.
But I really like this idea that they let this fairy go. So fairies, although they are a library that is trying to control magic and take artifacts.
Yeah, they also just let
They're
things
just
go.
Letting fairies live amongst themselves.
But I do feel bad for this fairy, just a little bit, because she knows what fear feels like now.
Okay. So the the worst thing we could do to this fairy is give her fear, and she's like, fear, this is what it means to be human? Oh, that's punishment enough. What? Excuse me.
I don't know.
That's so rude.
I don't know. I have lost for words.
I just don't understand why Freddie's wish wasn't leave us alone.
Yeah, give us back the town.
Yeah, like my wish is that you leave this town and never bother us again. Great. Why would we do this to her?
To learn a lesson. More PSA stuff.
But like, is she, now that she has fear, is she going to be always afraid?
I would assume so. That is what I assume. That is what I got from that moment. Because when she like cowered off, she was like this the entire time. I was like, oh my God, this poor fairy's just like in a corner in the world somewhere, just like, I can't do anything. I can't go. Like the most neurotic fairy.
Yeah, she's gonna become super agoraphobic.
Oh no.
That was another thing that I was wondering about. So if there was someone in town who had a mental illness, did she make sure that didn't happen? And now that she's gone, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no.
It's as though you were on medication for anxiety or depression. All of a sudden, it's been removed.
Just took it off.
Yeah, that's terrifying and painful and.
Yeah.
I have questions.
I know, there was a lot, because the fact that also our first accident was so big that I was just like, what would have happened? Like, would just like a guy just lose control of his car and just like run over a bunch of people? Like, how far are we going here with this like no accident thing? It was very scary. And luckily we only got a broken leg out of it.
Yeah, because the thoughts were on the tiny scale, right? No paper cuts. You know, these little things.
That's exactly what I thought.
But then on the huge scale,
there's so many things that can go wrong, especially with mental pain. Like that's something that I don't even like. What if they have military men in their town who maybe have seen stuff but they don't feel anything, and they're gonna now replay?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
They just screwed over this town.
Completely. So, I don't know.
I blame the kid.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
It is the kid's
How
fault.
dare you have curiosity for the abnormal?
How dare you as a child make this decision that then, makes your town safe but also screws everyone over? Ugh, what a selfish little brat.
How dare he?
We learned that fairies are allergic to iron, which is really cute. They like nature and tidiness and shiny things. I was like, who doesn't like shiny things?
Yeah, I do.
I really like the idea that I wanted to see them go to a fairy ring and a fairy grove. And
I thought that was gonna happen. They brought it up in the book, and I was like,
they were
okay,
like,
so
look, we have lots of these. We're not going.
yeah, just wanted to let you know that this is happening, though. But we don't have to go.
Yeah.
The books are enough.
So is this town surrounded by fairies? Because I imagine if this fairy, who sadly was unnamed, goes back to her home, right? She's been released and is like, I am terrified. These people are evil. They now have a war with fairies. Right? That's what's going to happen to Havenport.
That's what I assume. Just Havenport's just going to be gone. And our poor little Freddy's like, you have to come back and help us.
I would watch that episode.
I would. Me too.
Because this feels like no one thought about consequences.
No, and I'm also like, I have like qualms with a lot of people in this town, like the librarian, not our librarian, but the actual librarian.
Who's now in charge of the town. I liked her.
I liked her, but like I hated how she was just like, hey, so I need help. And I was like, cool, that's great. She deserves a vacation. Good for her. And then all of a sudden she's like, you. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you just met her. Also, she's doing you a favor. Like, back up.
Tari was asking, and it's a fair question, why it is that this town turns on people so quickly.
The mob mentality was ridiculous. Like, I've heard of that before where it's like, oh, wow.
But it's never like, it's your fault. No, it's his fault. It's his fault.
Like, it was, like, and the fact that, I mean, I thought it was maybe just because she was an actress, so they were just like, give her a lot of camera time. But she was the only person who was like, it's you, and it's you. I felt like, it didn't make any sense. I was just like, what's the matter with you? Is it because you're not on a vacation that you just feel the need to
Maybe it's because they don't feel pain.
So they just go for it, I guess?
I guess.
That makes no sense.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, before we move on, I would like to take a moment, if I may. May I?
Yes.
Thank you.
may.
Hello. Welcome to the Librarians After Show. If that's your first time here, where have you been?
I know, come on.
Yeah, we've been here every
4
week.
seasons.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to everyone who is live in the chat. We appreciate you staying up or getting up early or whatever time it may be where you are. We really appreciate if you subscribe on YouTube. That way you don't miss us, but also because YouTube has all the other sci-fi fantasy superhero shows.
Jeez.
And that's probably stuff you like if you like this show.
Yes.
Just a guess there. And go to iTunes. Yay! Subscribe. That way you don't miss a single episode of this show on iTunes in audio form. You don't get to see our pretty faces, but you do get to hear our pretty voices. And rate and review us. Bang on your keyboard, write some words for us. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. And if you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. Because the other stars, they do not work. Nope, they are broken. I broke them 4 seasons ago. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But if you don't like us, it'd be real nice if you explained why.
I mean, just be gentle, okay?
Actually, be as blunt as possible
seriously.
so we can move forward and be better.
Yeah.
We can be better. We are better.
Yeah, especially better than this stupid town.
Yeah, we'll blame you. This town.
I hate this town.
And if you leave us a review, we will read it live on the air. I want to thank Lenaves, who every week goes and updates their thoughts on the episodes.
It's great.
Thank you. And I don't know how I feel about Flynn and Darrington Dare being a ship. I'm not a fan.
Huh. Oh.
I like you thinking about it. Don't think about it too much. It gets weird.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, I just feel like they're... No, that's too alpha for me. That's too much.
I would love to see them adventure together.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yeah.
You just keep it strictly professional.
Real profesh.
Jeez.
Soups profesh.
I was just thinking that.
Totes soups profesh.
Totes,
Obvi.
soups, totes, profesh.
Yep. Okay, let's talk about Cassandra, because this was her episode. So we have this scene from the Ecuador mission that went wrong.
Which is interesting to me.
Yes. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the end of a mission. I don't mind when they show us the
Give us some context.
I don't like when you give us the end of a mission and something went wrong.
Yeah, because it's like, what are you looking for? What's this artifact? What is this random bean chart that you're working on?
No. No, the solution is not beans on a plate that is not attached to the pedestal.
Yeah, that was weird.
No. No.
Oh, that was weird. Also, screaming at Cassandra, screaming at someone who's trying to help you is never helpful.
Right.
So,
what is it? That's not helpful.
Help us, Cassandra, you're the only one. Yeah, but you already messed up. I'm trying to figure it out. Shut up, everyone. Let me do this.
Also, she didn't do this more at all this episode.
So I'm like, is your brain grape okay?
Well, the brain grape's gone.
Well, I know, but
the brain, is your brain okay?
Yeah, I don't. I still call it the brain grape because I don't know what else to call this.
The hands. It's the iMath hands.
The iMath. The iMath wasn't working, which I thought was weird. I mean, I was assuming because she was in a town and she didn't want to do that in front of people because she wanted to feel normal. I assumed that part. But you're on a mission. You should have just done it.
Yeah, when she was in the mission...
She didn't do it. She just panicked. And I was just like, why?
I think she panicked because she didn't do the hands.
I agree. And also the fact that everyone was busy, but no one was also helping.
So when we saw the beans part, I went, oh, this is a dream. That's
immediately.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
But then when Jenkins was like, yes, stuff happens, I was like, wait, no, the beans are not a thing.
Yeah, that can't be right.
I refuse.
Also, I'm like, what happened? Because there was a red light. You guys are all okay, apparently. So.
He says, luckily Flynn did something.
Is that what he says? I missed that line. I think I was cooking. So. Yeah, I think I missed that.
I have questions. I have lots of questions.
I don't understand.
Well, so now she has this fear of death, which is interesting. And she has to find her purpose because it may not be a librarian.
I mean, I feel like we were going to hit this point with everyone, to be honest. Again, and we got hints of it in the beginning episodes of, them talking about their personal lives and, going, what do we do now, that Flynn's back and we all work together, which is great. But I'm like, what about us? What do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked that Cassandra had some free time. Mm-hmm. I was just confused because I feel like she's so much smarter than that I felt like there were a lot of solutions that she's like, I'm just gonna push them all down. I'm like, but you should be intrigued if something weird is happening, but it took Freddie to really convince her what was happening.
It felt like she was like, something's happening, but I am trying to live a normal life. Which, to be fair, if you're going to live a normal life, go to a normal town. Don't go to the safest town.
Yeah, that seems really weird. I mean, I get why she picked it because she's like, oh, it's the safest town. I don't have to worry about anything. Right. I'm like, that should have been a red flag for you. Yeah. No town is the safest town. Right. That makes no sense.
And if you see an anomaly happening, instead of going, I'm going to ignore this, I would be like, I'm going to leave this town and go somewhere else.
Yeah, or I'm going to send the librarians here, but I'm going to go somewhere else. Because
exactly.
In my head, I was like, if I was a librarian and I was like, you know what, I need a break and I need to go away from it. But if something seemed off immediately after talking to my other librarians, I'm like, do you think that's weird? Use your instincts. If your instincts are telling you something's off, don't go, I'm just going to pretend like it's never there. It's like, there might be danger happening to the town here that you are apparently starting to fall in love with. You should help them and then move on to the next town. Supernatural that crap. Okay, we'll help you with this weird thing and then we're just going to get in our car and drive.
Yes.
Or our magical door and go.
Yes.
That's what I thought was going to happen. And I was like, what's going on?
That was a good reference.
Thank you. But
real accurate. We're going to show up. A lot of people are going to die and we're going to get out.
We're just going to leave. Bye. But I just feel like Cassandra is that type of person because she's always an advocate for we need to help these people out. And I felt like that was great that we got to see that flaw of her, but I felt like it was out of character for her. I mean, not saying that the show was crap, just this episode made me feel like it wasn't Cassandra. For just a split second.
I get what you're saying. I definitely felt like she showed up, she was like, something's off, and instead of calling for help, she was like, I'm trying to pretend I'm normal, so I'm going to ignore this. And that's a problem because that doesn't feel like something she would do. She would want to get help and then try to find normal somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or at least call the guys, the other librarians over. Let them figure it out. And then go enjoy your job at the library or go to the park. I don't know.
I also felt like if you want to figure out what you want to do in life, go experience.
Don't take a magical door.
That too. But go experience things. You know what I mean? Like going to this safe little town where there, you know, she was going to get a kitten and she was looking at the clubs and like, yes, that might be interesting, but maybe like really go outside the U.S.
Yeah, I was like, go backpacking in Europe, or, you know, go to Asia and see, you know, Japan, try new foods, you know, things like that. Like,
build houses for the people.
Yeah, go to, you know,
join the Peace Corps.
Yeah, something, you know, just something different, you know, go to Africa, you know, help build water regimes. I don't know, something, you know, something that seems like it would be out of the ordinary. Right. You going to a safe town clearly means that you're not ready to actually go anywhere. You're just trying to pick somewhere just like kind of close if something happens. It
feels like when someone's like, I would like to try something new, so I'm going to leave my small town for this other small town.
Yeah. Sky Knight, I'm sorry. I think she was just pushing everything as far back as possible. She just didn't want something to be wrong. I completely agree with you. It just seemed, I don't know, I've always saw Cassandra as like the voice of reason, even though Stone is technically that too. But I feel like Cassandra's always been such a huge advocate for magic and everything, so it just felt off.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That's actually very true, is that she's always been the like, we should use magic.
Yeah.
Let's have fun with magic. So the idea that she's like, I want...
Yeah. That's how I knew that either A, something was very wrong after she got shaken up, you know what I mean, shook from her mission. Hence why she's just like, nope, nothing's happening. I'm just going to put some blinders on. Everything's fine.
But what she did was she was like, I need to find myself. I'm going to become a librarian.
Yeah, I just like, that was your giant sign that you couldn't be like a cafe person. Yeah, work with the mayor. I don't know.
Right, like get into politics, work at the restaurant.
Yeah, work at a cafe. I don't know. Be a science teacher. She loves science. She had that whole like little booth and everything. I'm like, do events for the town. I mean, you also made some poor woman feel crappy because you kept taking all the stuff.
Well, I love that she was good at things because of math. Yeah. I was like, oh, shut up, math.
I know, right?
But it was really funny that all these things happened, that she won the pie contest, and she was in the sewing club, and she was going to get a kitten, and it's only been like 3 days.
That's why I thought she was there for like a month, maybe 2. So I was like, wow, time is moving really quickly. Oh, you've only been here for a few days. I'm like, what?
I would have loved a big time jump that like she had been there for a year. Great. That would have been fascinating.
Yeah, because I would have loved to see her actually completely just kind of like, if we wanted to go the extreme, let's say that she completely threw magic out the window, didn't care, and this town was normal, and then maybe the librarians back at the library picked up on the magic that was happening here and was like, you didn't notice? And then she can go through that actual struggle of like, whoa, maybe I was ignoring it because of this, or, you know, like I just wanted like there was her layer. I just wanted to go just like a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was just that Freddie was trying to get to her, and she was like, I don't see it. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. And then he did his research and collection and whatever. Also, when she like he took her to his closet with all the stuff, I was like, your mom's gonna come home and be like, this is weird.
Yeah, I mean, especially when she was like, come here, let me teach you something. I was like, you can't just be taking children wherever the hell you want to go. This is not, I know this is the safest town, but no. Just how old is this child?
But also, oh my God, the mom who was like, stop putting ideas in his head. We're in a library.
Yeah. So okay. I'm gonna rant a little bit. I know I've been ranting this entire time.
No, I love it. Take it.
Carla. I understand that she went through a very traumatic thing, and I will never excuse anybody who acts a certain way because of the trauma that they've been through. But how dare you talk to a person who's trying to educate, not hurt, educate their child, your child, that you know, you said that your child just doesn't really do anything and he kind of is just by himself all the time. The fact that he's reading is huge. So that's how I thought that Carla was part of it, because she's like, stop putting ideas in his head. I was like, every mom should be really freaking happy about this. What do you want your son to do? Just stay in a bubble?
I also was looking at it and going, there are no other kids in this town. Who are you expecting him to be hanging out with?
Yeah.
Like, of course this kid's alone. You don't let him leave town and there are no kids here. I was like, you can ask my husband. I was shaking. I was so angry. I was like, what is wrong with this mother? But again, I understand that she's been through something, so I get it. I can't completely excuse it.
but it just, in my head, I'm like, a mom should never try to hinder their kids from trying to
better themselves?
Yeah. You know, the fact...
How dare you teach my child to read and do science?
I know, and actually learn stuff. He's been reading books and checking them out. What? And it's not like weird stuff like how to bury a body, 101.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, Stepford Wives. Great. It's a great fiction story. You know, things like that. Like, it should... You gave him a camera. He could have been a perv. We don't know. Do you know what your son is doing? No, because you want him to stay in the house all the time. Girl, get it together. Sorry.
That was great. I loved it.
So angry.
I wonder if Cassandra's fear will play further into the show.
Yeah.
Or if it's all gone.
Oh my God, I'm so warm. No, I'm hoping not, because I like seeing the flaws in our librarians because I want to see how they handle it. I love the end when they're like waiting to see her come through the door, and I was just like, oh, that's so nice.
Group hug.
And then that really silent group hug. I was like, that was kind of weird, but very sweet at the same time.
Also in this episode, really important, we cannot skip it. Jenkins got glasses.
I'm sorry, he looks great. I think he looks adorable.
Yep.
And that was pretty much it. I was
That
like,
was
good
it,
for you.
yeah.
I hope that you don't just like speed age through everything. I hope it's just very slowly.
He got sick, and now he wears glasses.
And he doesn't understand pooping. That makes me so happy.
I worry that next week
It's gonna be bad.
he'll like be losing his hearing, and then he'll have trouble walking.
Oh, can you imagine? I don't think I can deal with a Jenkins who's with a walker.
I absolutely can deal with Jenkins with a walker.
I don't know. It hurts my soul.
I imagine him turning into, remember when we had the old librarians when they got old? That this chair's too soft. I'm cold.
That would be interesting if it just like all of a sudden just like, whoa, wow, you aged very quickly. And he's like, where's my Brojo's? Like just something really silly. And you're like, okay, all right. Ezekiel, you have to grandpa sit.
Yeah, seriously.
What?
I thought it was interesting that they were doing inventory at the beginning. I was like,
What are you looking
aren't
for?
they? Yeah, don't we have stuff to do? What's happening here?
Is there just not enough missions? I don't know what's happening.
Isn't that Jenkins' job?
Maybe he is forgetting because he's like, I don't know where anything is. I have to do inventory every day now. And you're like, oh no,
sad.
so sad.
So sad. All right, let's head into predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We had it.
We are
Your
doing it.
AfterBuzz
You ruined
TV.
everything. I'm just kidding. I know, it's okay.
We had it covered.
We got you.
Okay, next week, Civil War reenactors Ghosts.
I mean, I've been waiting for this episode. Yeah, I always feel like
Go on.
that I've never been to one. I've always wanted to see what it looks like. But I've always wondered, since if you go to the exact same battlefield, because some of them camp out at night throughout the weekend, if they get, weird supernatural ghostly things that happen because people have died on that battlefield.
Right.
No, just me.
All
right.
Sure.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of war reenactors.
Sure.
I don't see the point. I'm amused when people are on the wrong side and they're like, we should have won.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, you know what? I'm probably just gonna stay back here, like right all the way across the street at a cafe. It's fine.
And also, like, which wars do we reenact? The Civil War?
Civil War is a lot. There's also really tiny ones that happen that, like, if there's like a tiny town, they might do, if there's something really important that happened or an important war to them, they'll reenact it. But I don't think they do the
Does the Alamo get reenacted?
I wouldn't.
Taking it to the chat. Does the Alamo get reenacted?
I have no idea. I mean, yeah, it's weird, but I guess it's also kind of, in my head, it's a more extreme LARPing to me.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
If you put it in terms of LARPing, that makes complete sense.
Because I've met a Civil War, or not Civil War, but a war reenactment person, and they were just like, oh, it's like, oh, my thing's a passion because it's history, and I'm like, so you're LARPing? And he's like, what's that? And I explained what it is, and he's like, no, it's not like that. I'm like, it's exactly that. You're picking a costume, you're doing an action, and you're fighting.
Yeah, it's total LARPing.
It's LARPing. It's just you're LARPing something from history, but it's
you're
still the
LARPing
same.
something scripted.
Yep. Pretty much like like to a T.
Yeah, that's what's confusing to me. Where's the fun? Where's the imagination? Where's the playfulness?
I mean,
Right? Because when I think of Civil War reenactments, a few images come to mind, all TV related.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So like House of Cards did one.
Yes, they did.
Gilmore Girls.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Where their town was a place people marched through, and so their reenactment was to wait outside in the snow all night.
I mean, some people are dedicated.
But you see what I'm saying?
No, I know. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's just like people who, I don't know how else to put it, who do like plays that are on history, not like Hamilton in that sense, but like school plays. Yeah, like school plays or like specific places that are of history, and they're like, we're gonna reenact, Mother Washington knitting, making the flag. Okay, why do we need to see this?
Those were wrong.
But you know what I mean. I know, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I obviously don't know history, but
I'm just pointing that out that those are wrong facts.
I know. I'm just throwing.
I'm surprised I knew that.
Because you're awesome, that's why. Anyway, the whole fact is I feel like because people are so passionate about something that they feel like they want to showcase it to everybody. Obviously, this is a part of history that's still kind of gritty, and especially if you're on the wrong side. Yeah, I'll say it. On the wrong side.
Yeah, there's a wrong side.
Yeah, on the wrong side, it feels weird. Just like there's these two people, speaking of Hamilton, who are the actual descendants from Hamilton and Burr, who have done a reenactment of them killing, their ancestors killing each other.
So, like, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's weird. It's not weird, but it's...
I'm not judging, I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah. So my best way of explaining it, even though it's not awesome, is I just think that it's just a different version of LARPing.
It's scripted LARPing.
Yeah.
Okay, because from what I understand about LARPing is you get to, like, have fun.
I mean, to them it's fun.
And improvise.
To them it's fun. Not to us, or us specifically, but to them it's fun. It's something that they look forward to every year. Just like a WonderCon.
All right, I get it. What are people telling us wars that are reenacted?
Nope.
Are they making fun of our history knowledge? Great. What's happening in the chat?
Let me see. You can say that there was a wrong side. Thank you.
Yes, there definitely was.
Like, not sure why you'd want to pretend to be on that side unless you are seriously like that. I mean, there are people who do that because they do need people on that side.
Right. And I think if your family, regardless of who you are, if your family was on that side, you'd want to...
Yeah, because even though I know some people, not personally, but I've seen some documentaries about people who have done those reenactments before, and they talk about, they're like, I don't believe in what my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpappy was doing back in that day, but I will respect his memory by doing this for him, or something, or me feeling close to him even though he was on the wrong side.
Sure.
I don't know. It's tough. History. Nice.
Why do we have this playing?
Because Steve is just watching it.
Great.
It's just, yeah. I feel like for people, it's their way of getting close to their relatives back in the day. I mean, it's tough. I mean, just like a lot of people look up to George Washington, bringing up Washington again. But the fact that, like, I can't fully expect him to be such a great person because he also had slaves. Like, it's, it's just, that's how it is in my head.
Thinking of wars, I'm sure that, like, there are battles and wars that we maybe don't want to reenact.
No, probably not. Especially the ones that are just slaughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't think they do. I think it's only if there was actual two people fighting at the same time. I think. I don't know.
Girl, I don't know.
Yeah. But I hope so.
But ghosts. Also ghosts. That's what's happening next week.
I think it's interesting. I think I will be intrigued to see how our librarians deal with, like, old-timey ghosts that sounds weird because ghosts are old-timey, but you know what I mean.
I imagine in terms of ghosts it's going to be something similar to let's say an episode of Doctor Who from season 1 where they go to Charles Dickens' time and they think it's ghosts.
Right.
Or somebody would
like
say it
that.
was zombies,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Oh,
it's
I didn't even think about
not. It's it's an alien on that show, but it would be really interesting if it's not ghosts. It's something that's doing something.
No, I agree with you.
I would like that more so than Civil War ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't know that we need that.
No, I don't think we need that, but I guess somebody is really intrigued with the Civil War. I mean, there was a documentary that was out. It was like a 17-hour documentary about like the Vietnam War and something else, and it was getting a lot of traction before the new year. So maybe they were like, "Oh, I'm inspired," and they just wrote about it.
Maybe. Also, big important news is starting next week for the last few shows.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This after show is moving to 9 p.m. Pacific. That's 1 hour later than usual.
Sorry, guys.
You're welcome. Don't worry, we're not happy about it either.
Yay! It's because of Scandal.
Other shows need our studio space. / we took theirs during the winter.
I mean, we did, so we have to give it back.
We don't.
I mean, we don't, but
We will.
Yeah.
Because we're good
nice.
people. Awesome. Any final thoughts?
Oh.
Oh.
I was disappointed in the women in this episode, but I'm not gonna get into that because we'll be here for another hour. This episode was really great to see Cassandra's flaws. I wanted a little bit more out of her. I'm intrigued to see what they have in store. Maybe not for the next episode, but the one after that.
What were you? We have time. What were you upset about the women for?
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. Everybody felt, maybe it's because of the fact that they're not like big characters, so they felt very one note. Like we had the grumpy librarian, and then we had the over worrisome mom. I don't know. Like I wanted them to be more supportive, I guess, but I also feel like us as a woman community, we do that sometimes. So.
I liked the grumpy librarian. I liked her. I didn't like that the mom was like, don't teach my son. Because I felt like she was a little extreme, especially this woman is living in your house. This is awkward.
Yeah, I just didn't understand that. I felt like again, it's not like Cassandra was kidnapping your child. I don't get it.
And I didn't like the woman who was competitive.
Yes, I was like, you should be supporting someone in your town who just because she might be getting awards or whatever, or pointing out the fact that you might be doing your cross stitch wrong. Like you should be like, oh, you know what? I should do better on that one.
Like, oh, I win first place every year, and this year I got second. Great, now I get to compete again because up until this point I always win. Yeah,
like it felt flat to me with everybody. It was very stereotypical of like, oh, I'm a jealous woman, you know, and the again overprotective mom, but she was like overprotective.
I think it was supposed to be she was abused, therefore she's super protective. But we can't say that she was abused for some reason.
Yeah, I still don't understand why we danced around that word. We should be embracing the fact that she's still alive and
she's a survivor.
Well. Yeah, like it's, I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, I really want a Stone episode. I want my ladies of the water to come back. I want Ariel to come back now that we had a fairy moment.
Yeah, I would like I would like to go in and like meet fairies.
Yeah. Also, I want a side show of everybody that we met that now knows about magic. Freddie,
Stone's girlfriend last week.
Yeah, her. I forgot that girl that we met. Was it last season or the season before? That girl that they told. Oh my God, I do not remember her name.
What? Not Lucy.
Not Lucy.
Okay.
Who's the other one? I can't remember. But you know what I'm saying? Like everyone that we've told that knows that magic exists, I want them to all get together and just start helping out.
I imagine they're going to get together kind of like, have you come across these people and like start a group? And then we'll like
a following?
Kind of, yes.
That would be great.
I would love to see that because there are so many people, because it does seem like they're like hiding magic until they get to the point where like they have to do something, you know what I mean? Like last week when they were like, magic's not real, and then they're like, it's this, we got to do this, and the girl from the camp came with them. Yeah. And then this week Cassandra was like, no, everything's normal, and then was like, it's an anomaly, and Freddie came with her.
Yeah.
It's fairies, and he was like, okay.
Yeah, it was just raring to go. Like I want that. Or if my prediction, even though we kind of went through that pretty quickly, that if we do get a giant war with the library and everything, I want them to bring them back to help them.
I do like that idea. Excellent. Very, very cool. Very fun episode. hell yes, fairies.
Yeah.
I want more fairies. I really like the idea of the fairies getting together and coming after them.
Oh, yeah, that would be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also want to see how the town is doing after all that. I'm
get-
worried about them.
She's welcome to come back, they said. She has a place to stay.
Oh, what? Oh, Carla, going back with the mayor. What is that? Why?
Oh, Cassandra was like, everyone needs a little forgiveness. He doesn't. He's awful.
Oh, yeah, I was like, you couldn't. There are so many people in this town. You cannot find another boo in this town. Why does it gotta be him? He needs to learn his lesson. He needs to leave for a little bit and then come back.
He was just trying to keep everyone safe by making it
Trapping
terrible.
them.
Yeah, trapping them.
And pretty much just like the
Thank you all for joining us. Alexis, where can people tweet at you their also frustration?
Oh my god. You guys can find me all over social media at atorres890. That's ATORRES890. I'm on 2 after shows besides the Librarians with this beautiful lady. I'm also on Lethal Weapon. We did not have a show this week, so definitely check next week. We're doing a double episode, so check that out.
Ooh. I'm Yell Teagle. You can find me everywhere at Yell Teagle. That's YAELTYGIEL. All of the letters. You're welcome. Check out my Instas.
Do it.
And my Twitters.
Yes, do that too.
And Yell TV, YAL.TV. That is where I got TCA coverage. There was some interesting stuff. The Citizen Rose panel was fascinating.
Oh, boy.
If you want to read about Rose McGowan, she's interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week at 9 o'clock, our new time, 9 o'clock Pacific. Bye.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.